Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse for Disney, they go ahead and they sabotage it even more. Let's talk about the Fantastic Four and the Reed Richards casting today on Clever's Multiverse. Right now, it's December 6, 2023. The Marvels have officially flopped, and they've lost more money than any superhero film in history. And all Wish did was follow up with a deficit. At this point in time, I think it's safe to say there's only two things that people may be waiting for, if anything. Two things left that we either have the patience or the appetite for, and that's the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. The only two franchises that we have left at this point, and the reason that we still have those and they're untouched is because the Fox merger didn't come along until way later in the game. Because if Marvel would have had both of those properties from the beginning, they would have been butchered them by now. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise that we didn't have them. I would have thought by now that Disney would have just went back to the drawing board and stuck to the script. That's what I thought they was going to do at this point. I mean, they've lost so much money, why not stick to what works? Because I feel like this. The reason that Disney went out and bought Star Wars and bought Marvel was because those things were a full package. They already came with the characters. They already came with the storylines. They already came with the plots. And they already came with the fans. The only thing that Disney needed to do and add to that equation was to add the money and the capital that was needed to bring those characters to life on the big screen. That's it. That was the reason that those properties were so attractive to Disney in the first place. That is the reason they spent billions of dollars trying to obtain them, because they came with a full package. You feel me? They did great for a minute, but now they've dropped the ball so hard that everybody's wondering if it's even possible for them to bounce back. But if they did have a chance to bounce back, it will be partly because of these two, the Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer. And we'll get to Silver Surfer another time. We could almost just start over if they do it right. They bring in the Fantastic Four, that's going to introduce us to the cosmic level characters. Then we still have the X-Men in the background, and we could bring them in slowly but surely and start introducing mutants into the mix. And then we can almost just put the Avengers on the shelf and let them marinate for a minute, because we've had them for a long time and we need a little time to heal from the trauma. I think that I've wanted this for so long that I've already envisioned in my brain who I feel Reed Richards would look like on the screen. I think we've all done that because we had nothing but time to think about it. Like me, myself, I've always felt that the role for Reed Richards would be John Krasinski. I've always felt that. Then I saw him in the Multiverse of Madness, and I'm thinking to myself, yes, yo, they are hearing us. They finally gonna make things right. You know, it's going in the right direction. And even when Wanda spaghettied him, I was thinking to myself, that's fine, because they're not gonna drop it. They're not gonna let it go like that. Like they would never do us like that.
You serious?
So now it's all over the place that they're trying to line Pedro Pascal up to play Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four. Pedro Pascal. Now listen, I love Pedro Pascal as an actor. I think he's done some fantastic work, if you ask me. He's the reason that I watched The Mandalorian in the first place. He's the only reason that I know who Grogu is. It's because of him, you know? In The Last of Us, I think he fits that position perfectly. It almost looks just like the game. He looks the part. He fits the description. I think that's a great fit. How about in Game of Thrones? If you ask me, he was doing his thing in that show, and he had them looking real good. He had Dawn looking real nice, you know, until that last scene. But now we're talking about Reed Richards. We're talking about Marvel's first family, you know, and this is just not it for him. I mean, in my opinion, this is not the role for Pedro Pascal. They have one opportunity right now to rectify everything in the past and make it better and make a great first impression. You have one chance at a first impression. And this is what you want to do with it? All right, check this out. Pedro Pascal is 48 years old right now. They're in talks and in contracts for that movie right now. They're not even in production. So that means we're looking at a 2025, 2026 release for the Fantastic Four. So you're telling me that he's going to start that role at 50, 51 years old? I thought that they wanted a 10-year plan out of all of these actors that were signing up for this role so that they could line them up in future movies. I mean, that's what happened to Andrew Garfield, right? They said he was too old to play Spider-Man, and he was just Spider-Man 2 years ago. So you're telling me that the grand plan that we have right now is to lock down Pedro Pascal until he's on Social Security? You can't be serious. You know, Reed Richards wasn't even old. He had a little gray patch on the side of his ears, but that was because from the cosmic rays from space, he's not old. He's not 50. He's not 60. He's not. And I don't really understand the whole too white thing either. So this is the thing. Marvel's first family was based on a white family. It is what it is. Reed Richards was white. Sue Storm was white. Her brother was white. The friend was white. It was based on a family, a husband, a wife, a brother slash brother-in-law, and a friend. It is what it is. You can't change the dynamics now. And you already tried that with Michael B. Jordan. You saw that flopped, so why would you do it again? And this is exactly what I mean. Disney does not have to rewrite the stories. All they have to do is bring to life the stories that were already written. The same stories that made you buy that company, that made you buy Marvel in the first place. Those are the stories you need to stick to. So there was a point when they were talking about having Adam Driver play the part of Reed Richards. And I was all cool with that. You know, I felt like he was young enough to play it. I felt like he's a good actor, and I felt like he could really pull it off. A little Just for Men on the sideburns, we get it white, and we good to go. So whatever happened with that? I mean, yo, what's up? That would have been a great casting right there. I mean, what do you guys think? Is that a casting that you would have been interested in? Did you like the John Krasinski Fantastic Four role that he had for like a half second in Multiverse of Madness? Is there anybody else that you think would have been a better fit or even a good fit in the first place? Or are you on board with this whole Pedro Pascal casting? I mean, let me know. I want to hear your thoughts and I want to see where everybody's at with this because this is where I'm at and these are my thoughts. Another thing I want to throw in the mix is this. I'm also hearing that Pedro Pascal is not going to be coming back to play the Mandalorian next season either. What's up with that? I'm not really sure how true that is or into what capacity we're talking about. Maybe he's just not going to be physically in the suit anymore and he's just going to do voiceover work. And to be true with you, I don't have a problem with that because he doesn't even take off the helmet anymore as it is. So, you know, we can do it like that. But if you're talking about removing him from the role completely and just slapping somebody else in there and thinking we're just going to go with it, I don't think that's going to fly. I think that move right there is going to destroy whatever's left of the Mandalorian. At the same time, removing Pedro Pascal from the Mandalorian and slapping him in Marvel to play Mr. Fantastic in a role that nobody's going to appreciate him in is not going to do them any favors either. To be honest with you, I cannot think of a better way to simultaneously destroy two franchises at the same time with one move. Bob Iger must be gripping the Power Stone. At this point in the game, it's like, you know what? I don't even want to see it. Y'all can have that. Thanks, but no thanks. I've gone this far without it, right? I'll go another how long without it. It's whatever. I don't even want to see whatever it is you're trying to throw on that screen at this point. Look, I just want to see it done right. You know, I just want to see my childhood come on the big screen the way it was in my childhood, not in 2023 standards. I just don't. In my humble opinion, Endgame was really the end. And all we've been doing since then is getting traumatized a little more each day with each passing movie, a little more torture for every fan. That's all that's really been happening, in my opinion. Little by little, slowly but surely, we have all gotten PTSD from Disney. Some of us just handle it better than others, but we're all affected. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Is Pedro Pascal a good casting choice in your opinion? Do you like any of the other people that we thought was going to come on? Did you like or did you want John Krasinski to take it? Do you think that Adam Driver would have been a good fit for Reed Richards? Is there anybody that nobody else has thought of that you think, hey, what about this guy? Let me know what you think because I want to know. Am I the only one that's feeling this way? You know? Because I don't think I am. Until next time. Peace.